All right, so everybody, in this video, we are going to take a look at some combining like terms examples that also have the distributive property in them. So we're going to also talk about when we need to solve it this way. And all it really is just two steps. So if you have a problem, an expression, where there is a distributive property part that you can apply first, which again, we said was just a number times something in parentheses. So like in this problem, we do have it. We need to take care of that first. And then once we apply the distributive property, then we're going to go and combine our like terms using our highlighters and all of those things. So let's just zoom into our first example. You can, if you want, you could even cross out 4x. Since we're not going to apply that right now, we're just going to take care of the distributive property. So again, when we did this, we could have done it with arrows, something like this, which is the way I'm going to solve it in the video. Or real quick, you could have set up a rectangle method that looks something like this, right? So again, the 3 would go out front, and then the 2x and 9 would go on top. And again, we could just do it this way real quick. 3 times 2x would get us 6x. 3 times 9 would get us 27. Right? So I'm actually just going to slide the rectangle method over to the side just so we can keep it there. But everything here just turned into 6x plus 27. Right? Again, if you did the arrows, that's just saying take each term inside the parentheses and multiply it by 3. So sometimes that's a little bit quicker than using the rectangle method. So we're almost there. All we have to do now is just go back, include the 4x, and now we just want to start combining our like terms, right? So we took care of the distributing part at the beginning, got an expression, and now we can just combine our like terms. So as you know, we have x terms, 2 of them exactly, and then we have one constant, right? Just a number. And if we combine our x terms, 4x plus 6x will get us a 10x plus the 27 at the end. Those two things, those two terms cannot be combined, so we are done. We are simplified as we can be. All right, so let's slide down. We'll take a look at another example. So first of all, think about, do we need to do the distributive property? Do we need to apply that? I see a number times something in parentheses. So we do need to apply the distributive property. So if you want, you can just cross out the other stuff for now. So you don't need to deal with it. Just take care of the distributing part. So I'm going to do it with the arrow method, but you also, of course, could use the rectangle method. So let's see. So we're going to take, for the red arrow, 4 times 3w inside, which is just going to result in a 12w. And then for the blue arrow, well, of course, we'll keep the minus sign in there. And then for the blue arrow, we're just going to do 4 times z, which will just give us 4z. And we've now taken care of the distributive property. So we can erase the stuff that we crossed out, rewrite it down at the bottom. So 2w plus, and then plus 7z. Right? The only reason we haven't touched that yet until now is because that wasn't part of the distributive property. Now we're going to take our expression, put our squiggly lines in if you want to, and we are going to combine our like terms. So I see that we have w terms, and we also have some z terms, 2 of each. If you combine those, 2w plus 12w will give you 14w, minus 4z, or negative 4z, plus 7z. If you do that in your calculator, will give you a positive 3z. So that is as simple as we can get for that example. And we are simplified. All right, we have one more real quick one just to look at. So hopefully you're saying, oh, I know that this needs to be a distributive property first, right? The 6 times everything in parentheses. So why don't you pause this video, see if you can at least do that part with arrows or with the rectangle method. And then we're going to come back and we'll combine our like terms to wrap it up. All right, so real quick, check yourself. Did you get 6y plus 18x? I showed it with the arrows, and then I also did a rectangle method on the right-hand side for you to check. So if you got that, that is awesome. And if not, maybe just go back and review some of your expanding notes and examples. So now we've taken care of the distributive property. Step 2, like we said, is to just combine our like terms. So we put our squiggly line in anywhere we see a plus or minus sign right before it. We have 2 x terms and 1 lonely y term. If we combine these, this should give us 20x. Whoops. Looks like 20x plus 6y, which will be our final answer for this. So again, big takeaway is if you see a problem with the distributive property and combining like terms, you need to take care of the distributive property first and then combine your like terms to finish it off. So hopefully these few examples helped, and thank you for watching the video.